Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
This podcast was recorded on
the 20th of October 2020 at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Some things may have changed since the recording of this podcast. Just want to give you a heads up so you know. Hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today we're doing November 3D releases for 2020.
Oh, my.
We haven't done one of these podcasts in months.
So, Adolf, what's come out in 3D Blu-ray for November 2020?
Well, okay. Let's get to the 3D theatrical releases first.
Coming soon to theaters.
In mind-blowing 3D.
So, we only got one movie. And you said you're going to review it. So, that only one movie is Croods 2. Which, the 2 is not part of the title anymore. But whatever. Croods 2. The New World or New Age. A New Age. That's the title. So what are your thoughts on this movie so far?
3D looked interesting. It could be interesting. The first one was better than I thought it would be. I mean, after Ice Age movies, I mean, I know it kind of sets the bar low, but hey, there's been good 3D movies about the Stone Age.
And it's interesting because the Croods 2 was, on the list of 2020 movies for a long time. And it was supposed to come out in Christmas, and we heard nothing about it. And then out of the blue, here's the trailer. It's like, what? And here's a new release date, coming Thanksgiving. Okay. So they're pretty confident about this movie by Universal. And basically, it seems like a sequel or... they took out the 2 because I guess they don't want people to be confused or it's been like 20 years since the first one came out.
Yeah.
I mean, not 20 years, but it has been several years since the first Croods came out,
Mm-hmm.
So this has been development hell for years. So... it looks fine. I mean, they see a new family, and the new family has a tree house, and it seems like a good movie. I'm not terribly excited for it. I'm not completely disappointed by it either,
It looks like they're kind of going into a new spin on the Flintstones,
which
could be really interesting, or it could be really basic. I mean, this could turn out to be with a lame ass story like Wonder Park or the Addams Family, or it could have a cool ass story like the Lego Movie or Into the Spider-Verse. That's one of the things that makes some of these things really interesting. I mean, or we might get something heartfelt like the Dragons series.
Or it might just be a surprise like Zootopia where you kind of like, whatever. And then you actually see it and it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was joking around before, but the release date of the original Croods was March 22nd, 2013. So it has been 7 years, which is an eternity for animated movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's usually that, and if a person disappears that long, they're usually declared dead.
So, I mean, if a franchise disappears for that long, it's considered dead.
Dead. Yeah, exactly. They're on they're on milk cartons. Have you seen the Groods?
So, yeah, the Groods, coming out on November 25th, apparently, for Thanksgiving, if
Yeah.
So that's the only theatrical movie that I know of is coming out in November. There might be something else, but I don't know, for sure.
And hey, it's 2020. It's still not too late for them to cancel it on us.
Yeah. I mean, that Connected movie, where's that coming out? It might be coming out this next month. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath.
I mean, the Connected animated movie, it didn't have a release, so maybe they decided to release it before and we're recording this and we don't know. But as of right now, we don't have any other 3D theatrical releases coming out in November of 2020. All right.
Yeah.
Now we do have 2 3D Blu-rays. This one is Botanica 3D, and it's apparently eBay exclusive.
Is that a euphemism for pirate?
Here's what the 3dblu-ray.com says about it. There are over 1,800 botanical gardens located around the world. So, yeah, it's going to be one of the nature documentaries in 3D.
Oh, yet another one of those. The bane of 3D fans' existence.
It might be fun to watch once, and you're like, all right, that's good enough. And
I don't know. It might be worth a second viewing to remember what the outside actually looked like, because it's been a while for some of us.
So the next movie, so that's coming out, Botanical, November 10th, 2020, in 3 weeks on eBay, which, okay.
They got a list price?
I gotta look for it, but apparently eBay exclusive, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay, so is it going to be buy it now, or you have to bid on it?
Oh, man! Yeah, pretty crazy, huh?
I don't know. I'm just going what 3D Blu-ray.com says. So
is this going to be actually in 3D? I'm assuming, since 3D.com talked about it, this is 3D, right?
I guess so.
This is what our lives have been reduced to in 2020. We're actually contemplating buying yet another nature documentary.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The other movie, now I'm going to pronounce it in Spanish because that's how it's here. Apparently, okay, I guess through Blu-ray.com, this movie here is called Tiburón, Colección de Tres Películas. Do you know what that is in English, Jake?
Nope.
That is Jaws 3D movie collection.
Interesting. So it looks like, now the question is, are we going to get a restoration in this collection, or are they just going to dump? Now, I am very grateful for the disc that Universal released with Jaws 3D. Sure, it looked like crap, but they didn't hose us. It was dirt cheap, and we got 2 versions of the movie. And did I mention it was dirt cheap? So I was very happy to have a legitimate copy of this movie finally that looked fair. But the price point was right, so I'm grateful for it. Now, I would hope that putting it in a collection that it would get a restoration.
So here's the fun part. So I said that in Spanish, Jake. Tiburón is shark in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Apparently this is coming out in Germany. Why is it just Spanish if it's coming out in Germany? Is it German have their own word for shark?
The Germans, sure, yeah, they've got their own word for shark. In fact, they've got their own. Germany is probably Germany is where you go if you want a 3D shark movie. Because I have Sharknado, and after how the crappy 3D conversion on that, I didn't bother with the rest of the series. I also didn't bother with the rest of the series in 2D, but that's another topic.
So apparently in German, shark is Hai, H-A-I. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. Hai. So I don't know why Jaws is using the Spanish title. I guess maybe, I don't know what the hell's going on there. But okay, Jaws 3D collection coming out to Germany on 3D Blu-ray.
And if we get more detail on it, if it's a restoration, but hey, Jaws 3D is a lot of fun. It's everything Sharknado wishes it could really be.
So, and there's no 3DS games coming out next month that I know of. So that's going to be it for the 3D releases for November of 2020. Yay!
As our wallets sigh with relief, but our 3D fandom just sits here disappointed.
I mean, don't you want to see poppies in 3D?
I guess.
I mean,
I just want a Carol Baskin to make a 3D tiger documentary.
Oh.
That's because Joe Exotic's in jail still.
With that, we'll end this podcast. 3D releases for November of 2020. And maybe we'll do it December. We got to see how things work. You know, maybe things will still come out. We'll see. But, I mean, it's the best news we've had all year. Yay! Hey, it's something.
Hey.
I hope you found this podcast entertaining. Bye.
Bye.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D and Mr. Bengal 5 for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwood@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.